All right. So, have you ever felt like your life is on a treadmill? Like you keep getting on, you start running, and you're going nowhere. Or it's just, it gets so exhausting that you get home in the middle of the night and you start thinking and praying, when is this going to change? When is this going to get better? You start accumulating things to do and habits to do, and all of a sudden your days are filled with uh, things that you do, but you go to bed or you wake up and go on another day. Like you get up every morning, go to work, come home. There used to be a video that I guess was an Amway tape way back in the day where somebody would talk to get up every morning, go to work, come home, get up every morning, go home, and do the exact same thing. And then we expect different results, and those different results don't allow us to become the person that we want to be, right? And so my life now is dedicated to helping people to become the person they want to be, that they desire to be, that God created them to be. And how do they do that? And becoming that person so that they can do the thing that they want to do. And so this whole class is about helping you become that person and seeing. But one of the things I did a talk this last week. I was talking about my book, and they had me come in, they had me speak on my book. And one of the things that I realized is I told them all this information. And I think that's what we get a lot. Like we get the information overload. And I told them about believing, some of the stuff that we've been talking about here. But I didn't give them concrete examples on what to do. Like, how do I move forward? Like, I'm stuck where I'm at. If I knew how to not be stuck, I would do it. But the problem becomes is there's nobody showing me how to do it. And so I'm going to start today at the basics. I'm going to go through, I've written down 30 of these, but I'm going to go through do's and don'ts. And I was thinking I would just do, hey, I'll do 5 do's, then I'll do 5 don'ts. But you may get bored on here going, oh, he's just telling me not to do this. He's telling me not to do this. What can I do? So what I'm going to do is over the next couple of lessons, because this is going to take a minute to really go through some things that you can do that can move the needle in your life, that can help you start to become that person you want to be. And I don't know who that person wants to be. I don't know, if it's about money and finances and things that you want. I was listening to, as I was doing my walk this morning, I was listening to a Jim Rome tape. And, he was talking, and it's one that, everybody tells the story about, but I listened to it again. And, he was in this point where you may be, where you want your life to get better, but you're stuck in the rut of it not being able to get better. And Mr. Shoup was the mentor that he decided to go to and ask Mr. Shoup, what do I do? And so Mr. Shoup said to him, he said, how are you doing, Mr. Rome? And he said, not too good. He said, why are you not doing too good? And he goes, because I'm not being able to make the money that I need to make to do the things that I want to do and to, support my family and do that. And, at the job that I have, this is, it's not enough. And this is all they pay. And Mr. Shoup said to him, what do you mean that's all they pay? He says, yes, that is all they pay. He says, are you sure? Or is that all they pay you? And you start thinking about it. If he was doing the things that and being the person that needed to be, then he would probably be getting paid more. Or he would find a way to get his own business and get his own stuff. And so that's when he was 26 years old and decided to be around a mentor and start doing things that would help him to be able to move forward. And so this process of becoming isn't something that you can do overnight. The person that you are right now, if you're 40 years old, took you 40 years to get to the person that you are now, right? Or you've been in a rut for 10 and it took you 30 years to get you are now, you're just duplicating and repeating, right? Rinse and repeat. So the chances of me just saying this video today, saying do these things today, and all of a sudden tomorrow you're a different person doing different things, making a ton more money, is going to take a little bit longer. But if you understand, if we can become to start understanding that who you are and you understand whose you are, then we can really start to say, and move this needle quickly. So I'm not going to say it's going to take another 40 years or 50 years to get to be the person that you want to be. It can go much faster, especially if you start stacking. So the things that I'm talking about, I'm excited about this lesson today, because if you start stacking these things at times that you can, the amount of time grows exponentially. And so if you're saying, okay, I've been making, let's say, $70,000 for the last 10 years, and I don't know how to make and double that or 10x it to 700,000. 700,000 right now, I'm telling you, if you're making 70,000, is just way too big for you to move to right away. Unless you get lucky, you win the lottery or something like that. Plus, then you'll lose the money because you're not the person you need to be who can handle that. But let's talk about doubling it. So let's go from $70,000 to $140,000. Can that happen in 1 year? 100% absolutely it can. But it's going to require you changing who you are, becoming a different person. And then when you become that different person, who you are and who you are is a different person who's showing up on a daily basis. But there's some things that are don'ts, right? There's some don't absolutely do these things or begin not to do these things, because some of these are such habits that it's going to take you a minute. And I want you to realize you're going to fail at some of these things, and you're going to have to get back up, get back on the horse and start riding again, right? Because you're so used to thinking the way you've been thinking that until you change what that is and who that person is, then you're not going to be able to. When I was talking to those real estate agents this week, I was excited to talk to them, and I was really trying to get out my words, and I can't wait to do it better. And I can't wait to go back so that I can talk to them. But I saw blank stares on some of their faces. Like, I've been doing this for so long, and I was kind of talking about the information age, and, that the fact of, they're in sales, and, the fact that they're not going to be able to, do the same thing they did 10 years ago and get the same results. And instead of finding people and looking for people and paying money to sell things to, I was saying, why don't you sell things to people who want it? Because there's people out there that want it. It's a matter of finding. And I just got these blank stares. And so I got off on my game a little bit, and just because I wanted so bad to get this information out. And so today we're literally, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to go through some of these things that I know can help you, but there's some things that you're going to have to change. There's things that you're going to have to not do. One of the things, and I'll start out with this one, the number one thing that I want you to do is I want you to wake up every morning with an attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. If your attitude determines your altitude, then I want you flying high. I don't want you flying at 1,000 feet. I want you flying at 15,000 feet. And that comes from this attitude of gratitude. What are you thankful for? That's the first thought that I want to happen in your mind when you wake up in the morning is, what are you thankful for? And whatever you think. So let's say you're laying in bed. You start thinking, you wake up. This isn't a habit that you have, so it's going to take some time. And you say, okay, Lord. Or you just say, I am just so, it's how you want to say it. I say, Lord, I am so thankful that my eyes just opened. That could be the very first thing you're thankful for. I am so thankful that I have this home that I'm living in. I am so thankful that I have a wife who loves me. And you can do 10, 15, 12. I just want you to do 3, right? Because the habits that we're creating, the things, you haven't been getting up saying you're thankful for stuff. So I'm not expecting you to write down the top 100 things you're thankful for today. And then you get stuck. But I know you can do 3. You absolutely can do 3. And if you mess up and only do 1, but train your mind now. And why are we doing this? Because if you start out your day being thankful for the things you have, I promise you, you're going to have a better day. I promise you, I'm not going to promise you things aren't going to go wrong. I'm not going to promise you that there are things that you are hurtful or things that can happen in life or those things. But if you're thankful and you can have that attitude, it's going to change the trajectory of the person you are, right? Because we're trying to become the person you need to be in order to do the thing that God created you and put you on this earth to do, right? So, for me, part of my Thankfulness is just a prayer that I say, dear Lord, give me the wisdom to do the things that you put me on this earth to do. And I'm thankful that you give me the wisdom to do that in a way that pleases you and serves others. That's what I'm saying every day, in a way that pleases you and serves others. And I'm so thankful that you're putting people in my pathway in order for me to be able to serve others. Right? So that's what I'm thankful for. Now, what I won't want you to do. All right. I don't know how I get you not to do this, but it is imperative, if we're going to change the person that you're doing, that the first thing you do in the morning is not pick up your phone. Not pick up the negative things that jump into your phone. Not pick up, this is what I got to get my day going on. Picking up, that thing where, because what happens is, and I've talked to a lot of people, sometimes they have their phone that's their alarm. And then they pick up their phone and they turn off the alarm, and then they start, some people, while they're in bed, still check email. I can't imagine checking email while I'm sitting in my bed in the morning while I'm trying to start my day. And then now I'm reacting to my day instead of having my day planned. And so if you can find a way, and this is just an idea, because I've known several people who do that. What if you were to put your phone in an area that you had to get up out of bed, like your bathroom or a dresser or something, where you physically had to get out in the bed before you could actually pick up that phone and look at it? That's a start. If that's all you do, is you just have it in a different place. Well, people say, well, I can't silence my message because what if it's an emergency? What if my kids call? Well, here's what you do, at least with the iPhone, and I think you can do it with the Android phone as well, is people, if you put it on silence, people have to call you 2 times before it'll actually ring. So it won't even go off if somebody calls you in the middle of the night. So you can put it on silence, do not disturb. I asked the people, well, what if they're in jail? Well, I asked the police officer one time, if I'm in jail and I need to call somebody to come get me, will you let me, because I know they have it on silence, will you let me dial this number twice? And they said, absolutely, of course they would. So there's no excuse why not to put it on silent in the middle of the night so it's not interrupting you. And there's no reason for, unless there's an emergency where somebody called you twice and it actually rang, to pick up the phone. There's nothing that's that pressing that's to stop you from being able to say, this is what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to be thankful before I'm going to react. I'm going to be thankful before I'm going to react. I'm going to be thankful before I react. All right, so we got number 1 done. That's the number 1 thing you're going to do, because remember, what we're doing is we're changing our belief system of who we are so we can become the person we need to be. And we're changing the person we need to be so we can do what God put us on this earth to do. And so that we can be great at it. So we can stop running on that treadmill, right? Going to nowhere. All right. Second thing you need to do is you need to make one promise to yourself every single day. We need to be the people who keep the promises that we not only make to ourselves, but that we make to others. We have to be so good at keeping the promises we keep to ourselves. Because the reality is most of us haven't been keeping the promises that we make to ourselves. And that is why we say words like, I'm going to try to get this done. I don't want you to stop. I want you to stop trying to do anything. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And you need to get in the habit of keeping the promises. And so I just want you to start out with one promise to yourself. Because if I tell you to keep every promise you make to yourself, you're going to fail. You're going to give up. You're going to stay the person that you are. So what if the promise is that I'm just going to say every morning 3 things that I'm thankful for? And you keep that promise, and you do it every day. But whatever that promise you made to yourself, and I don't need it to be per promises, do not go to bed without keeping that promise. Whatever that promise is that you keep to yourself, you must every single day. And we're just doing this for 30 days, right? We're going to start with 30 days and we're going to add more, right? So for the 30 days, right? You're going to school with Dr. B right now, right? And so school homework for the next 30 days, you're going to keep one promise you make to yourself every single day. I promise that I'm going to kiss my wife every day before I leave the house. I promise I'm going to write a note down. I promise I'm going to eat something healthy at least once a day. I promise I'm going to drink a gallon of water. That means that if you promise yourself you're going to drink a gallon of water and it's 10 o'clock at night and you've only drinking 12 ounces, hey, you better start filling up the jug and start drinking before you go to bed. You, my friend, are not allowed. I'm telling you right now, and you're doing this and we're changing the person you are not allowed to go to bed without keeping the promise that you made for yourself. One promise. Okay, one promise. And you kept it. You kept it. You kept it. We're going to add some more later on, but right now, we're just doing the one thing. So number one, right thing that we're going to do is we're going to have three things that we're thankful for. Number two, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the promises that we kept for ourselves. Number one of things that you're not going to do is you're not going to pick up your phone first thing in the morning. The second thing you're going to stop doing, and this one's going to be pretty hard because you're going to tell me that I need to know what's going on. Unless you are an anchor person, then I don't want you watching the news for the next 30 days. But how am I going to know what's going on? I promise you, there are people in my life that I interact with that tell me all the time. The news is negative. The reason that people watch the news, and this is scientifically proven, how newscasts are put together. They are designed to help you feel better about yourself, and they know whatever level you're at, if they tell you what's wrong with more people's lives. That way you will watch it. That way they will sell advertisement. That way they will pretend to tell you what's going on. And what's even worse about the news today, in the news that you're watching today, what's worse about it, is algorithmically designed. So if you're watching Fox News or CEN, to look at who you are, your demographic, your thought process, your area, because you're attracted to that news, and to feed you information that will even make you feel worse about somebody else. So it is literally designed to create you not liking somebody else who doesn't think like you do. And if you think about it, that you're being asked to watch something that is designed for you not to like another human being, that's got to stop. If you need your news, you can read portions of it. You just have to be so careful about your reading. But I'm telling you, you'll know what's going on in the world. And the other part of it is, how do you control, right? How do you control something that's happening on the other side of the world when you can't even control the stuff that's going on in your own life, right? Until you're at a position where you're doing the thing that you want to do because God called you to do it. The news is something I need you not to do. I don't think a few weeks ago, I was starting to listen to some of the political stuff that was going on. I have a buddy who does a lot of political news stuff and I was listening to him, and I was, now getting into, all the stuff going on with our president and the new vice president or new person running vice president. I started watching the news almost daily. And then I started having this attitude that was like my stomach was hurting and my mind was hurting. And I was starting to get a little bit depressed, and I was starting to be negative around people. And I said, what's different? What am I doing? Why am I feeling this way? And what I realized is I was watching the news, and it physically, chemically, whatever it is, started changing who I was. So I need you not to do the news, at least for 30 days, and we'll see where it goes from there. Hard for you to do. You're going to mess up. You're going to be thinking, well, I need to know what's going on. Because I can say in the last few days, I've said, maybe I should check on to see what's happening. And I have to say, wait a minute. I said I'm not watching the news, and so I'm not going to. It'll be easy in 30 days because then people just tell me what's going on. I had some political conversations with a client that I was having yesterday. And he told me everything that's going on that he wanted to tell me from his perspective. But it was easy to shut out because it's not an organization that's trying to get me to buy stuff or is selling advertisement so they can tell me what's wrong with the world in my life. All right, I'm flying through these, right? I've only done 2, and I got 5 to go. So the next is do personal videos that you can watch. So now, what I want you to do is, whether it's daily, I want you to watch either like a sermon if you're a person of faith, or you're going to watch, somebody that you believe in that can tell you positive stuff, because associations are everything. Who you become is based on what you read, what you listen to, who you hang around. Well, if you don't have great associations right now, I need the videos. And we're in an age right now, on your video, on your phone, not your video, on your phone, you have the ability to watch really good videos. You have the ability to pick people. Like right now, I'm watching a gentleman named Myron Golden right now. And Myron is just, he's biblical and he's a business person, and he's just saying some things that I need in the room that I'm in right now, because I want to have some of the things that he has, and I want to do some of the things he does. And so every day when I go on my walk, I'm either listening to Myron, or I'm listening to Stephen Furtick. That's my pastor. I'm listening to one of the sermons or one of the old sermons. I'm listening to, I have a list. I've listened to a Jen Rome or a Tony Robb. Some of those are too big for me. Right now, like I was listening to, what's his name? Dreyer. I can't even think of his first name. Wayne Dreyer. And that was just too much for my head. I couldn't comprehend some of the things he's talking about and energy and that kind of stuff. And I've been doing this a while. It was just too much. And so if it's too much, find the person who's where you're at that isn't doing the same things you're doing, because then they be getting the same results you're getting, right? Somebody that you look up to start on a daily basis listening to one video. And I would say maybe it's a 10-minute video, a 20-minute video like this one that I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure to keep it under 30 minutes. So, you can even listen to mine. I got 8 of these now. We will continue to do one every single week. So that might be your Tuesday mornings when they come out. It might be whatever it is that's going to help you move forward. I want you to do a video a day, and I would switch it up a little bit, but 10, 15, 20 minutes. I do an hour of videos every single day, but I'm not wanting you to start there. All right. So that's what you're going to do. So you're going to keep your promises every day. You're going to see 3 things you're thankful for. You're going to watch a video every day, and then your don'ts are you're not going to start your day with your phone. You're not going to be watching the news. And then here's a tough one. You're making a change, and people say, I've heard where people say, declare it to the world. Right now, for the next 30 days, keep it a secret. Do not tell anybody you're changing who you are, because I don't want you to put that pressure on you. Do not put that pressure on you that if you fail, then you're gonna just quit altogether. So I don't want anybody to know all of these things you're doing, not about the decision you're making. We're going to declare it to the world at some point. But first, we need to start changing who you are. Start changing your habits. Start changing the things that you do. Then we can declare it, because you're already on the road. But right now, you suck at this. You're not good at this yet. You haven't built that muscle. And if you have, we can talk about it. Let me know, put it in the chat or something. But I need you right now to not declare anything. We start these habits. If you want to have somebody like me or send me messages or something like that, you're more than able to, or I would love for you to do that. But you are not going to declare this to anybody that's around you that could discourage you from the journey that you're going on. You are not allowed. This is so key. Do not declare this to anybody that you are working through this. All right, so here we are on number 4. I need you to get moving around. If you're already exercising, great, continue to do it. If you're not, even if it's a 10-mile walk, I'm up to 3 miles now. I'm not going any further. When I started this, saying, hey, I'm changing who I am because I got to look better. I got to feel better. I got to do things. I got to change I got to do these things. I started out walking. We have a thing that's about 200 meters that's outside of our house. I walked around that one time and was breathing hard. Then I said, okay, so this week I'm going to walk around at one time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, however long it is. Then the next day, I did it twice. The next day I did 3. Hey, I'm going to venture out into the neighborhood. So I just need you to start moving around. Your body needs it. God designed you that your body is a machine that works. It's like a car that sits in the driveway and you don't drive it, and then you go to turn it on and it doesn't start. But the car is designed to be driven over and over. And I was talking to my brother-in-law, and he was saying that his truck works better at 5,000 RPMs than it was at 3,000 RPMs, because the truck is designed, to go and move forward when he's hauling stuff. And so it just works better. So the machine that God made you to be works better when it's active, when it's moving, when it's doing stuff, and it's not sedentary. So I need you to do 5, 10, 15, 20. We get up to 30 minutes over the next 30 days. Even if it's just walking around your house, winter's coming up, I'm going to go to the gym, do that kind of stuff. I have a membership that I can do that with. If you don't, find a way to do some type of, even if it's just sit-ups. Chair. There's a guy who does these chair stuff, older dude, and he looks good. You can find a way to work out for 10 minutes. I would even say, I also started out because my back hurt and my legs hurt, and I've had knee surgery and I've had back surgery and my Achilles. So I started out just doing some yoga. I literally watched a YouTube video the first one was 15 minutes because of the back thing, because my back was really hurting. 15 minutes every single day. And then I got into where I could do a half hour. And so now I try to divide that morning exercise, evening. I need to get better, get my yoga done at the end of the night, but you can do that. So exercise. What I do not want you to do, I don't want you, I want you in that realm is also give up on something that is bad for your body. And it could be like, say, hey, I'm not saying you can get rid of sugar right away, because you probably can't. Your body will crave it. But what kind of sugar? Like if you eat cookies every day, why don't you get rid of some cookies? Right? You can still eat other stuff, but I'm not going to eat the cookies today, or I'm not going to have a sugary drink. So if you're used to drinking regular Coke, I'm not going to say that Diet Coke. And if I say that on here, somebody will say in the comments, Diet Coke is just as bad for you. It's probably even worse for you than the regular stuff. I don't believe it's worse for you than the regular stuff. It's something that can change your body. Obviously, you want to get off of it at some point, but we need to shock your body into feeling better with other stuff. So, I do a fasting diet. If you can do a fasting diet where you just go 12 hours, find some kind of thing where the intake of the food that you have will stop you from being able to, that you are going to be more healthy as a result of exercising and eating right. Because if you just exercise and don't eat right, then your exercise and your movement of body isn't going to work. And if you eat right without exercising, your body is designed to eat right and exercises. And I'll do a whole video at some point on the intermittent fasting that I'm doing and the weight that I lost and all the things that I feel really good about. Like at the time of this video, right now I'm doing 12 hours eating, 40 hours not eating, 12 hours eating, 40 hours not eating. And so I'm about an hour away from eating. So I'm at like 39 hours right now where I haven't eaten. I have more energy. I feel better than I ever felt before. So it's something you can absolutely do if we start working on becoming the person you need to be in order to do the things that you need to do. And so number five, like I said, I have 30 of these and we're just on number 5, right? I need you to start visualizing and turning into belief. And so the video I did last week was totally on belief and believing that you can. If I could give you any gift right now, it'd be the gift of expectation, the belief that you can do something. Because we really need to start, whether it's putting together a vision board or putting together things that you want out of life, because we're changing the person that you are, because we're changing that person so you can do the things you need to do, we need to start a process of starting to believe that it's possible. And that's just going to become through some visualization exercises. Maybe you can go cut out a few things, just so they're out there. That would be like a vision board that you can do. Maybe you're just speaking it to yourself. I'm in God's favor, or set of affirmations that you truly can believe. Because affirmations that you don't believe. I believe I'm a millionaire next month. You don't believe that. It's not going to happen. You're just wasting your breath saying it, right? But I believe that I can eat no cookies for 30 days. Then you start that starts the process of declaring, right? You're making a declaration. You make declarations already every single day, right? You say, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to brush my teeth. You make those declarations about something in the future already anyways. How about let's start making some declarations of things that you're going to do? How about declarations of these 5 things that we're going to do? I declare I'm going to do 3 things to be thankful for. I declare that I'm going to make a promise and keep it every day. I declare, because it hasn't happened yet, so it's a declaration in your mind, right? I declare that I'm going to watch a video a day. I declare that I'm going to exercise 5 to 10 minutes every single day. I declare that I'm going to do visualizations. Start creating that belief in your system. And then the last don't is don't hang with negative people. That's going to be hard for some of you, because the people that you go to work with every day, the people that you hang around, that you've been used to, are negative people that tell you every reason that you can't do something. In fact, that negative person could be your spouse. It could be your children. It could be the people that you have to see every day. Am I telling you don't get a divorce because your wife is negative or your husband's negative? I'm not saying that. I'm saying you just wake up so positive about everything that's going on that you change their behavior, and you just don't have those conversations about you can watch. Let's say you guys used to watch the news together and talk about all the bad things in the world. If you stop watching the news, they're going to wonder why and ask you, and then you start talking about things that are positive going in the world. How you doing it? Woo! We just got to 5 today. But if you start this and you actually begin the process of becoming the person that you desire to be, you start these easy steps. I gave you step-by-step guides on what to do, what not to do, what to do, what not to do. We're going to do another one of these next week. This is the lesson we're in, because if you can start doing this for the week, then we come back next week and we add, like, remember I talked about stacking? This is how we do it quickly. This is how we do it rapidly. We get these done this week, then we add another 5 next week, and then we do those 10. Now all of a sudden we're becoming that person because we got momentum, and momentum is everything. All right, so you guys have a wonderful, just incredible day today. Hey, don't forget you are God's greatest gift. He loves you if you will allow him to, right? He loves you. Like, if you believe in a God and you believe that your God is everywhere, like the God I believe in, he is everywhere at all times, which means he would have to be in you, right? And if he's in you, let him love you. All right, you guys have a wonderful, just incredible day today, and we will talk to you on the next one.